Ooh, what's going on, team? It's Ricky with Tactical Solutions. I hope that you guys are all having an amazing Sunday. Today is March 8th, if I'm not mistaken. Quick little heads up for a lot of you guys. We did go through daylight savings. Well, in Arizona, we don't actually go through daylight savings, but the market, when the market opens, is going to change, right? Especially if you're in California and in New York and stuff like that. So just make sure that you stay up to date with that. Market now opens, and I'm super excited about this. Market now opens at 6:30 in the morning, which is 1 hour before. And I'm just super excited to lose another hour of sleep. I literally just got back from Europe. So as soon as I pulled on into the house, I just dropped off my bags and wanted to go live for you guys. So I do apologize that I am a little bit late for our Sunday Stock Talk. I'm going to keep today's Sunday Stock Talk pretty short and sweet. One of the first recommendations or encouragements that I want to have for, people that are just watching, especially I feel like a lot of people now, since the market has been selling off, a lot of people are really interested in learning more about the stock market. One of the things that I want to remind you is that, I don't want to say that this is the perfect time to start learning how to get started in the stock market, but this, and especially because of the opportunity that's currently presented, if you understand what it is that you are doing, a lot of people are seeing the sell-off that we are experiencing to be a great opportunity that we're not going to see happen, or doesn't happen normally very often. If you are struggling to understand that, if you do not understand why people are seeing the market selling off as a big opportunity, all I want to encourage you to do is to take a little bit of time, inform yourself a little bit more about how the stock market works. Don't worry about starting to trade with real money. Don't worry about making money, nothing like that. One of my biggest encouragements for people that are just wanting to get started is enjoy the process. Take time to learn more about it, see what it has to offer, and see if you resonate well with it. So I think that's the best, kind of like pieces of advice that we can have for anyone, especially if you're starting at such a young age. You have nothing but time to learn how the stock market works, to learn how to grow your account, to learn if you want to day trade, or to find your niche within the market, right? I'm a big believer that just because I do something a certain way does not mean that that's the best way or the right way. We're all wired in different ways, and I'm here to embrace that, right? So I really hope that within this Sunday Stock Talk, I earn your thumbs up and that you get one step closer to your overall goal. So let's go ahead and start breaking down stocks that you guys see value in. So one of the quick heads up that I want to at least cover right now is overall, the market is, as of right now, based off of /NQ. The market closed right around this general area, and it's already down 4.82%. Natural gas is also down a little bit over 4%. Crude oil should be down, 4%. And then gold should be up, which it is 1.64%. What this means is that everything that follows the market, as you guys can see with /NQ, is going to be most likely selling off. Again, you should never trade based off anyone else's opinion, and I'm not here to ever give any trade suggestions or anything like that. But I would really take time to inform yourself about how you can make money when the market is selling off. There's a very easy way that you guys can make money as the market continues to sell off, especially if you're not already invested in anything, right? So when the market sells off, we understand the correlation between SQs and TQs, right? So /NQ, the overall, if you guys go to /NQ, you guys can see that there's been a very consistent uptrend pattern. Due to the coronavirus and due to the unfortunate kind of just like global impact that it's had on China, which is like a huge manufacturing hub for the entire world, has caused the market to really sell off, right? So we're at overall lows, and natural /NQ is beginning to sell off once again. Not much of a surprise, right? We didn't really expect it to get better all overnight, and it doesn't look, especially if I'm not mistaken, there's even more news that it's really there's a lot of devastation of the coronavirus in Italy, which is really unfortunate to see. So that's kind of the news that we developed over on the weekend, and it looks like it pulled right back down to previous lows. So as /NQ is selling off, something that you guys should understand is that this is when SQQQ goes up. So for all those that have been watching SQQQ, because the market is continuing to sell off, we'll most likely see a very, very green day for SQQQ. As when the market sells off, SQQQ does the exact opposite. The inverse is TQQQ, which does the same thing that the overall market does. So when the market sells off, so does TQQQ. But when the market then sells off, then SQQQ is the one that shows signs of an uptrend. But just wanted to make sure that you guys understand that there's so many different ETFs, there's so many indexes, there's so many futures that you guys can pay attention to still be able to make money. They're not even the ones that I cover, but again, the more that you take time to inform yourself about your different options, the better off that you can be. So let's go ahead, and I'm going to break down about 5 to 10 different stocks that you guys see value in, and we can kind of call it a stream on that one. So let's go ahead and see. So any idea on UWT? /CL is selling off. So by overall, whoa, what is that? Yeah, /CL, this actually sold off a little bit more than I expected. So this thing sold off, wow, 25%. Okay, so huge drop on crude oil, which is very unfortunate. So then that means that UWT will follow. So we'll most likely see a very solid drop on UWT, and then on DWT, which is the inverse, right? I'm sorry. This is actually the bear ETF, but because crude oil is selling off, then this thing would have pushed up another 27%. So I had a 27% day on on Friday, and I'm really excited to see how it plays out tomorrow. So again, keep a very close eye on how the market is trading. You guys all have access to paying attention to these futures just like I do. So before you take a trade, just ask yourself very simple questions about, is the direction in your favor? Is there a clear opportunity, or are you simply just forcing a trade? So what's going on, Muhammad? Thank you for posting it in the ticker call out format. So you said DIS. I don't even really need to break down Disney. And the reason why is if you guys go on over to Disney, you guys can see that it's performing very, very similar to the overall market, right? So when the market was selling off, so was Disney. By the market overall selling off, again, it's down almost 5%, right? There's no question that then Disney is most likely going to follow. So friendly little heads up, right, for all the day traders, for all the investors out there. Please, days like this are not ones that you want to especially if you're someone that's just getting started, right? If you're someone that's well informed, if you've done this for a while and you want to approach it in a much more aggressive way, when the volatility is there, all power to you, right? But when it comes down to you being someone that maybe is just getting started and you're trying to buy the dip on Disney, right now, I'm not saying that it's not the best time. All I'm saying is that there is no signs of a solid recovery or any proper indication of a solid recovery for our overall market due to this coronavirus, right? And because we're not seeing any solid information when it comes down to, news or some form of advances when it comes down to the vaccines, or something actually being done to contain the virus, how do we expect things to get better, right? As of right now, as the market continues to sell off, I would be very, very careful with where you put your money. It's not that you can't make money, right, as the market is selling off. That's not what I'm trying to say. But I just would hate for you to be someone that buys the dip thinking that that's the bottom of something, and then it just continues to sell off, right? Patience is key and confirmation is key. And if you're so certain that a reversal is going to happen, why not, instead of just trying to buy the dip right away, why not just test your patience and actually wait for the opportunity to present itself? That would be my 2 cents. So Disney as of right now is still looking bearish, market's still looking bearish, and by the looks of how the market currently is trading at right now and the overall /NQ futures, I could only expect, right, that the market is going to continue to sell off, and so is Disney as well. Alrighty, so. Alright, so ticker symbol LL. Alright. Okay, so this one's a little bit all over the place, so this one doesn't look like it's following the market very closely. So this is Lumber Liquidations Holding Incorporated. Okay, so I had a really strong push. It's doing a lot of consolidation. As of right now, and again, I'm not saying that this is a good one, that this is a bad one. One of the things that I really like to focus on, is it Aiden or Adine? Is I really like to focus on direction. So, I trade a lot of ETFs. I try to trade a lot of inverse ETFs. And one thing that has really helped me out is when something is consistently selling off, there's a clear direction. You probably don't want to partake in that, right? As of right now, and again, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't see there to be a very clear direction with LL. I don't know if it's going to go up. I don't know if it's going to go down. Yes, we are trading above the SMA line, but yes, we also have been making lower highs. So simply what I want to share and remind you is that when the direction is unclear, you're almost entering a hopeful trade. Obviously, if you know something on the fundamental side that's bound to happen or something that can act as a positive catalyst, then all power to you. But at the end of the day, I would say that I would wait a little bit more for there to be more of a clear direction. I hope that that's, hopefully that can just make it easier for you, right, to decide on what to pay attention to and what not to pay attention to. So why are people freaking out? It's just the flu for healthy people. I don't think you then understand. It's not so much about, we've talked about this in our, and we can talk about this a little bit later, but yeah, the whole idea of why the coronavirus is such a big deal based off of what I've read and what I've learned. So why he seems so depressed. I'm tired, Brian. I've been on flights for the past 15 hours, so we just got back from Spain, so I'm exhausted. I just wanted to do this Sunday stock talk like I owe you guys every Sunday, and I'm going to get some food and eat some Chipotle and head straight to bed. So SBUX. So SBUX. Again, not going to be much of a breakdown here. If the market continues to sell off, most likely, so will SBUX. By the market already looking like it's down 4% on the day, SBUX and everything that follows, NASDAQ, Dow Jones, and S&P 500 is most likely going to be down. Again, please, 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 there is no other time where you need to really test your patience, where you really need to challenge yourself to wait for confirmation. During this time, it could either be a very successful period or a very daunting period, right? It could be very scary because there's a lot of volatility, and if you don't think that you can keep up with it, then don't put yourself in an unfortunate situation. So as of right now, SBUX has been selling off as the market's been selling off, and because the market is already opening in the red, it's not going to be much of a question that SBUX is going to open up in the red as well. So, alrighty. Appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, no, these companies have been killing it for the past couple of weeks, almost the past month, Eduardo. I'm not big. I'm not the best person to ask about companies that are fighting against the coronavirus. I just know that there's a lot of hype behind them, rightfully so, right? Especially during this very daunting period for this outbreak. It can be very lucrative to take time and inform yourself about these pharmaceutical companies and these companies that are fighting against the virus. They do get pumped a lot, and then they get pumped for a couple of days, and then they lose the hype, and then they pull back very aggressively. Again, nothing in life worth having will ever come easy. So if you want to prepare and you want to take time to inform yourself a little bit more about those higher risk, higher reward stocks, just know that it comes at a price, right? It comes at its own risk. And as long as you acknowledge that and are okay with that, then that's up to you. For me, it's just not my style, right? I've really been enjoying, if the market's selling off, if natural gas is selling off, I allow the direction to be a little bit more clear. The past week, as I was in Europe, right? I was in Greece, I was in Spain, and I was exceeding my daily goal easy, right? My daily goal is $500 profit, right? Every single day. It normally, I trade with $30,000, so it doesn't come super easy to me. I trade a lot of ETFs. I trade natural gas, ETFs, crude oil ETFs. But because the market has been so volatile, right, and so lucrative right now, that it hasn't been very difficult to exceed my daily goal, but just as much as I can then lose, right? My green days are 3 to 4 times my normal days, right? Then I need to prepare for those red days as well. So it's not just a one-sided pretty picture, it's understanding both sides. So it's exciting. It's exciting. We're in a period right now where the volatility is definitely there, but again, high risk, high reward, right? And that's at least the area that I'm playing in right now. So biggest loss, I've shared that before. I think it was 4.3K. So it came a couple weeks after my biggest gain, which was a little bit under 12K. So DWT, yeah, dancing, huh? How crazy is that? So if crude oil is down 25%, I can't even imagine what DWT is going to be up. It should be up then like 70%. So we'll see. We'll see where it opens to that. So I just woke up. Sounds good, dancing. But TGT. So this is target, if I'm not mistaken, and I'm gonna say the same thing. So market selling off, most likely, so will target. I would pay a lot of attention. So again, just a friendly little reminder. We did go through daylight savings today. Please take time if you actually plan to trade tomorrow, right? Take time. Don't think that as soon as the market opens. How many of you guys, can I talk to you guys very quickly? How many of you guys, as soon as the market opens, almost feel like you guys have to take a position right away? Can I get a show of hands? I've felt like that. It's not that it's right or that it's wrong. It's that I think we just get so excited. We love what it is that we do every single day. And I have noticed, and this is just a little tip that I want to share with you guys. Have you guys ever thought back, right, after you took that trade, as soon as the market opened, that if you simply would have waited and allowed the direction to be a little bit more clear, you would have never taken that initial position, right? Because maybe it continued to sell off, or maybe what you were paying attention to just didn't play out according to plan. All I'm saying is that this is the best time to be patient. This is the best time to truly allow an opportunity to present itself, right? Please understand that you have nothing but time. Even if you don't take trades during this volatile period, you don't lose anything, right? You get to enjoy and kind of just be someone that just watches what it is that's going on, and you don't have to partake in it. So just enjoy it, right? And I have noticed, at least for myself as a day trader, that I have put myself sometimes in a sticky situation when I try to take a trade right away as the market opens, especially if the direction is not very clear. So yeah. Oh, is the stream? Oh, my apologies. Sorry about that, guys. So I have no idea what is going on or why the internet's so bad right now, but it's fixed. Okay, sounds good. Let me do about 2 more breakdowns. I want some solid. I don't want, guys, if the market's selling off, then everything that follows the market is going to be selling off. So me doing breakdowns on Starbucks or Target or Disney, there's not much of a breakdown that I can give you guys, because they're all going to be doing the same thing, and it's going to be like a bloodbath tomorrow. If the futures hold with where they're at right now, and how everything is selling off, it's just going to be bad, right? So I want to talk about stocks that again do well maybe during this time or during this period. So let's see. So we got Drip. This is one that I think a lot of people. Well, one of the things that you guys should know is that Drip has been absolutely killing it since this coronavirus, right? So there's the inverse, which is Gush, which is Gush. So it's going to be very interesting to see how drip performs tomorrow, especially because of how much crude oil sold off. So again, this is not something you just have to ask yourself. This thing dropped 25% from where it closed out on Friday and where it just opened out right now. So don't just think about like, well, drip made 29%. So just because it made money doesn't mean that you're going to make money, right? It could go south for you as well. So this is a higher risk, higher reward type of ETF as of right now. The volatility is there. It's moving very aggressive. There's nothing wrong with just watching it. So I'm really glad that someone brought this one up. As you guys saw, I already had it on my watch list. But I think that during this time, there's nothing wrong with just paying attention and watching all this volatility. Even if you were to just buy like one share or even not even trade it with actual money, right? And you just wanted to see how it performed. I think it's a very good, time and place for you to, be able to learn a lot and not really have to have any money invested. Nothing wrong with just enjoying the process. So the futures are halted. Yeah, I could imagine. So I think natural gas just made new lows at 1.63. Overall market, where is it at? Overall market is down almost 5%. So it's pretty interesting. CODX. I'm guessing that that's going to be a coronavirus one. Yeah. So, but again, I'm not saying that these are good or that these are bad. Is that there's a lot of hype behind them and then they lose that hype and then they pull back, right? And if the hype continues due to most likely what's going to happen tomorrow, then we'll see a nice little pump again. These stocks are not for everyone. They come at a very high risk, high reward. I would not encourage any beginner to partake in these. Yeah, you can make a lot of money just as much as you can lose, right? So don't just think about the green side. Think about also, the risk involved. There's nothing wrong with being informed. Take time to inform yourself about both sides. So I'm going to do one more breakdown and then we can go from there. So PGEC. I appreciate you posting it in the ticker call out format. So PGEC, I think it was. This is a penny stock, yeah. 44 cents. Yeah, there's not even enough data for me to break down or anything like that. I would not be able to give my 2 cents on that. Yeah, sorry about that. So ELP. Alrighty, so it looks like this one has been selling off. Okay, I don't know enough about this one. It doesn't look like the direction has been in its favor since the coronavirus. It looks like it's still been making lower lows and lower highs. It did just aggressively sell off, so I don't know if you're seeing this as a dip buy opportunity, but overall the direction is not in your favor. Yeah, of course it can go up, but again, the overall direction is not in your favor. It's making lower lows and lower highs, so just please be aware of that. So, all right. What time does the market open in Phoenix tomorrow? So, yeah, I don't know why the Wi-Fi is so bad right now. I do apologize for that. So market due to daylight savings, the market now opens 1 hour before. So the market used to open at 7:30 due to daylight savings, which we experienced today. The market will now open at 6:30. So I'm really excited about that. Again, we lost another hour of sleep. One of the last things that I want to leave you guys with is that I've been seeing a lot of people try to like devalue or make it not look as serious as what it is when it comes down to the coronavirus. Again, we're each entitled to our own opinion, and it's YouTube, so people just love to post whatever it is that they do and stuff like that. But one of the things that I want to share with you guys is the reason that the coronavirus, in my opinion, and based off of what I've read, is such a big deal is not because of how deadly it is. People love to share the facts of, more people die from car accidents, more people die from cancer, more people die from the common flu than have died from the coronavirus. And there's a lot of jokes behind that. And one of the things that I wanted to share with you guys is that it's not the deadly aspect of the coronavirus that is so mind-boggling. It's how quickly it is spreading. And just like cancer and just like the flu and just like car accidents, you know, we as people saw an issue and tried to come up with ways to get better, tried tried to create like solutions for it. So, you know, if there were so many people dying from, you know, car accidents, if there are so many people that were dying from cancer, if there are so many people that were dying from the flu, we've taken steps to improve those numbers so they're not as severe. That is simply what is going on with the coronavirus. It's not that it's against such a deadly virus. If you take time to inform yourself a little bit more about it and what it entails, that's not the reason it's such a big deal. It's because of how quickly it is spreading. So yes, although there are more deadly viruses out there, I still feel like it is our job as people to try to come up with ways to create solutions for problems that we encounter. And I think that's why it's become I think it's viewed as a pandemic now, because now it's global, right? So I'm not here to ever try to call anyone out or anything like that, but I think it's very insensitive with the idea of, you know, trying to pick or make fun of people that are trying to treat this coronavirus as serious as what it is, but it's because of the idea of how quickly it is spreading and the overall global just devastation that it's having due to China. China is like one of the biggest manufacturing hub in the world, and unfortunately, even with the stuff that like we've just seen so many people affected by this, and you guys like. When everyone freaks out, there's this quote that we've shared with you guys before, right? And I think I actually still have the quote here. So I do. It's by Warren Buffett, and it says, "Be fearful when others are greedy, and be greedy when others are fearful." You hear and you continuously hear people talk about that this is the best time to start investing, right? That this is the best time to buy. Take that as a grain of salt. You do what the whole idea, at least in like my whole mission in life, right, is to take risk that makes sense to me. Just because someone says that you should buy the dip doesn't mean that you should. Take time to inform yourself about why people view this to be such a great opportunity. And then by being a little bit more informed about what is going on and what the actual opportunity entails and the risk involved, then you can then better decide if this is actually something that you want to partake in. There's nothing wrong with dedicating a little bit more time to inform yourself a little bit more about what you're about to invest in. And by informing yourself a little bit more about this, you can then make a little bit more of an informed decision. Have fun, enjoy the process, and ignore what everyone else is saying. Just because someone is making a ton of money somewhere else doesn't mean that that's the market that you should go all into, right? It's be empowered to be your own person, be empowered to be unique. You know, we're always here to remind you that, you know, there's not one perfect way to approach anything, right? There's many different ways to still get that same end result, and that's to, you know, make money and have fun doing it. So I really do appreciate your guys' time. I'm sorry for kind of the low energy. Definitely just not feeling the best after the 15 hours that I've been traveling. So I'm really happy to be back in Arizona. For all those that have Learn, Plan, Profit, I will see you guys tomorrow at Market Open. I appreciate your guys' patience and putting up with my travels. So we should have a pretty solid video for you guys. I know a lot of you guys like the little travel videos that I well, not really that I make, but that Michael puts together, which is our filmer and editor. So really excited to be back, really excited to trade live with you guys tomorrow. If you guys want to watch me trade live tomorrow, you guys don't have to, but if you want to learn a little bit more about the Learn, Plan, Profit group, that's going to be that second link down below. So I'm going to close out this live stream. I'm going to go grab some Chipotle, and then I'm going to head straight to bed. So I really do appreciate you guys' time. Wish you guys an amazing rest of your Sunday. Continue working hard, continue following dreams. Let your passion be what drives your success. And like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take it easy, team.